Hello, my name's Mel Ashworth and welcome once again to Coffee with the Councillor. And I have the pleasure today of speaking with Clare Kingsbury-Bell. Welcome, Clare.
Thank you very much.
It's lovely to see you. Now, which party are you with, Clare?
I'm with the Liberal Democrats.
Lib Dems. Which ward do you represent?
Central Ward in Weston-super-Mare.
Right in the centre?
Yeah,
okay.
in the centre.
Okay. Now, how long have you been a councillor?
Only since May, so not very long.
Right, yeah. How did you find that experience?
What, of becoming one or getting elected?
Of becoming one, of being elected, of
it was hard
door
work.
to door.
It was hard work. My little boy learnt the new game of playing postman for delivering letters and doorbells for knocking on doors because he came with me quite a bit.
He came with you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was hard work, but good because it's really good to speak to people and get a good feel for what all the real issues are because you always have an idea, don't you, from reading the paper?
Yes.
But it's nice to know whether you're in tune or not.
Right. So what prompted you to stand as a councillor?
Lots of things, really. I've always been involved with reporting on council meetings because I worked at the Mercury for a long time. Right. So I was quite familiar with the council anyway. And then I didn't go back to work when I had my little boy. And I started getting involved with the community in different ways. So with the Children's Centre and then with the RNLI and sort of just doing more community things.
Right.
So it seemed like a natural step to be more involved with the community and try and get a bit more done to stand for council.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you find as a woman that, you know, you're a minority and it's quite difficult to get your voice heard amongst all the guys?
No, I don't think so. I think there's some really strong women on the council, actually.
Great.
I think, you know, probably more strong women than strong men sometimes, I think, which is really nice.
Outspoken.
Yeah, not afraid of... But they're quite experienced. I think when you've got a bit of experience, it's easier to do that kind of thing. But no, I haven't come across anything different about being a woman.
Right,
really.
Good.
Probably an advantage sometimes. I
Yes. In what way?
Well, I think being new and younger as well, it's easy to get things explained without worrying about what people might think. If you know, if you don't know what something is and you're asking more about it, people are a bit more sympathetic to giving you information and telling you more about it and things.
Okay.
So and I think otherwise, talking to the public, people feel a bit refreshed that they're talking to someone who's not a middle-aged old man.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
To put it bluntly.
Be as blunt as you like, Claire. What about your role? You were a journalist, presumably.
Yeah.
So how does that help you in your role as a councillor, if at all?
Yeah, it does. In the fact that for years, to be honest, when I was reporting, I used to get all the council papers and trawl through them for stories and things. And then when I became the news editor, I thought, oh, brilliant, I can give that to someone else to do. And then suddenly I'm getting about 10 times more because you're thinking, brilliant. So I'm used to flicking through the papers and trying to spot the issues and concerns and things. And also having a bit of a background, because when you do journalism, you have to do politics.
Okay.
So I studied politics for a bit as well.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. But also just talking to people. I think I already know quite a lot of people in the community before I became a councillor. So knowing who to talk to about things or when there's issues, already having that bit of background knowledge is helpful.
Yes. I interviewed recently Holly Young.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know her?
She's the town councillor in the ward, so me and her cover Central together.
Are you both the youngest in the council?
I don't think I am. Holly is.
Holly, definitely.
Holly is. I think Holly's the youngest ever.
So it's fantastic,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, but no, there's... on North Somerset, there's a young lad, Stephen Fudge, he's younger than me.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be one of the youngest.
Great,
it's fantastic. Okay, so are you a local girl, Claire? Did you grow up in... No? Where
No,
are
I'm
you
from Worcester.
Worcester,
Yeah.
just up the motorway.
By the sources.
Source. So when did you move down here?
After I finished my journalism course, I moved here for the job. So
Right.
I got the job on the Western Mercury. It was the first job I applied for and moved here in about 2004.
Yes, okay. So obviously you love Western because, you know...
I've stayed.
You stayed, yes. What would you say to young people who maybe want to get involved in local politics in Western? How would you inspire them?
I think there's lots of young people who are already really interested in the community and what's going on in the town. And young people seem to stay here much more than anywhere else I've been. There seems to be a stronger sense of community as a town when people stay here. You know, when they've gone up to university, they seem to come back as well and things. And I think that's such an asset because there's so much going on in Western, and it's great location being down from Bristol, and it's got the natural brilliance of the beach and woods and everything that I think people already have a bit of a passion about the town. So building on that, doing the community things that people do, it's a natural step to get involved, really. You don't have to be political to do it. You don't have to be someone who's going to stand up in council meetings and try and be the smart aleck or get one over. That's, you know, that's got its place for some people. But if you're just interested in building a community and making it better, then it's a really useful way of doing it and a way of making things happen.
Right. 3 guests, Claire, that you'd invite to a dinner party.
Ooh. I think that I would invite my mum's mum, because...
Your grandmother?
Yeah. But she died when my mum was 3, so she never knew her. And my mum's just brilliant. She's like the best mum ever, and she's never had a role model to follow to do that. So I think that it would be really nice to talk to her and see how similar she was.
Yeah.
And then my mum, because obviously then she could
that's really nice.
Get to know her. And the third one, well... It's always got to be Jake. He's just the best entertainment at any dinner table.
Your son?
Yeah.
So your husband can do the washing up?
Yeah, well, he can cook, he can wash up, he can be the waiter, that's fine, yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, blue sky thinking for Western. No limits on it. What would you love, if anything, to see for Western?
In Western. Being parochial in my central ward now, there's nothing for kids going on.
Yeah.
Like, kids play in the street, but there isn't anywhere for them to go. And Holly and I were always trying to think of, you know, different ways, and we were looking at things like, there's a scheme called Street Scene, I think, where you shut a road from like 3:30 till 5:30 and kids can play in the street again. And we're always thinking about things like that. And we were talking about whether we could grass the top of Tesco and have a big play area, until someone reminded me there were some flats there. But but something in central area where all the kids are around there, because it's a really deprived area and there's a lot of issues to tackle with children, like child poverty, child obesity in the area that they really struggle to, because there's no sort of open space for central. So pop up, bulldoze Tesco and have a great big play area.
Fantastic. There is actually a place in Spain that has something on their roof.
Oh, really?
For children. So maybe look into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I just want to say it's been a pleasure talking to you. We've got through this session so quickly, Claire, but just before we finish, 3 people you admire?
Admire?
You know, in your role as a councillor. Living, dead, famous. Anyone who's inspired you?
I think that...
Apart from your mum.
Apart from her, okay. People who I admire. I admire Ellen McCarthy, you know, the Round the World Sailing.
Yes.
Because I'm into sailing as well, and grew up doing lots of sailing as a family. And to do that on your own, just the sheer determination and strength of mind and character.
Right.
I think that you've got to be such an amazing person to bring that about.
Fabulous.
To do that. Another person who I admire. I'd like to, I don't know whether I admire, but I'd like to meet, if we're going on that one, Daphne du Maurier. I did English as a degree, and she's one of my favourite authors.
Right.
So I'd love to
meet her.
Yeah, and know where all the inspiration came from and that kind of thing, yeah.
Fantastic.
I'll think of a third.
Don't worry. Claire, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's all from Coffee with the Councillor for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.